Hello students, today we are going to learn about the lac operon. That is the operon, one operon which is there in the 12th biology CBSE syllabus. And this operon is the example of regulation of the gene expression in prokaryotes. As we have discussed in the earlier video, that regulation of gene expression is required because all the genes are not required to express all the time. It depends on the metabolic conditions, it depends on the physiological conditions, environmental conditions, and at different levels which gene is required. A simple example is that suppose expression of the genes are should be regulated because all the genes are not required all the time. For example, in your home, we are having tube lights, we are having fans, we are having ACs, we are having refrigerators everywhere. We are having many electrical devices, but we need not put them on all the time. We can regulate their operation by operator. And what is the operator? Operator is the switch. If we turn on the switch, the fan will start moving. If we turn off the switch, it will stop. So there is operator which is regulating the operation of these gadgets. Similarly, there are regulatory genes which are regulating the operation of the structural genes, whether they are when they are required, or if they are not required, they can turn them off. And this is called expression of gene. In your syllabus, there is one operon, that is regulation lac operon. Here the lac is for lactose. Lactose is a disaccharide, and the operon is the operon. Lac operon means the operon of the lactose. Now, operon, what is operon? What does this term means? This term means an arrangement where a polycistronic gene, you remember that when we had done the transcription unit of the prokaryotic, in prokaryotes, the genes can be polycistronic. Polycistronic means the genes which are, there are many proteins which are formed by that. One cistron is responsible for production of one protein, and many cistrons are responsible for production of many proteins. So polycistronic genes means many cistron. So these many cistrons are producing many proteins, and these many proteins in most of the cases are responsible for a single common type of a function. And for one function, all these proteins are required, and these are present on the structural gene, and that is gene is polycistronic. So arrangement where a polycistronic gene is regulated by a common promoter and regulatory gene. The promoter is there, then there is structural gene, and then there is terminator. And before promoter, you will find regulatory genes which are regulating the operation of the formation of transcription, initiation of transcription of the structural gene. Now, there are various examples of this operon. Lac operon is there in your syllabus. Then His operon is there, Wall operon is there. These are the examples of different operons. Now, the elucidation of lac operon as a transcriptionally active system was first done by genetist Jacob and biochemist Monod. So Jacob and Monod, they elucidated this lac operon, that how it is a transcriptionally active system. Now, genes, what are the various genes which are present in lac operon? In lac operon, the first gene which is present is the regulatory gene, is called I gene. And I is inhibitor. It is inhibiting. So it codes for repressor of lac operon. So what is I gene coding for? I gene is coding for a repressor. What is repressor? A repressor is the inhibitor which is not letting the process of transcription start. That's why it is called inhibitor. Now, this iosine can be promoter as well. This iosine can activate, this iosine can inhibit. So here it is inhibitor. Then there is Z-zine. As I told you that it is a polycistronic. So polycistronic means that there are many zenes. So three zenes are present there: Z, Y, and A. So Z-zine is the structural gene. In structural gene, these three are the genes which are present. Z-zine is coding for beta galactosidase. Now, beta galactosidase is an enzyme which is required for the hydrolysis of a disaccharide lactose into galactose and glucose. Another gene is Y-zine. This is also in structural gene, and this is coding for permease. Now, permease is also one enzyme which is increasing the permeability of the cell, the bacterial cell, to beta galactosidase. As I told you that in polycistronic genes, the all cistron are producing the protein. They are coding for the protein which are required for a same function, a common function. They all are required. So the Y is produced. Y is coding for permease. Then there is third gene which is called A gene, and this is coding for trans-acetylase. Trans-acetylase is again an enzyme which is helping in the transfer of acetyl from acetyl CoA. This we will see how all these three are functioning. Now, all genes involved in these all genes, A gene, Y gene, Z gene, and I gene, they all are required for the metabolism of lactose. So the function is one, that is metabolism of lactose. Clear? Now, in the metabolism of lactose, inducer is required. Lactose is the inducer. Inducer means the one who induces. So lactose is the inducer for lac operon because it is regulating the switching on and switching off the operon. Presence of lactose will switch on the operon. Absence of lactose will switch off the operon. So lactose is the inducer. If lactose is provided to the growth media of bacteria in absence of any other carbon source, then it is transported inside the cells by permease. Now, E. coli are being cultured in the laboratory, and suppose in the medium there is another source of carbon, that is glucose is present. So the bacteria does not require beta galactosidase because lactose is not present. But when in the medium lactose is present and any other source of carbon is not present, then beta galactosidase is required, permease is required, and trans-acetylase is also required. So the whole operon will be activated, will be induced by the inducer lactose. For permease to be present and lactose to enter inside the cells, low level of expression of lac operon must be present all the time. What happens when the regulation, when the lactose is not present? All these things are required when lactose is present. Now we will see what happens when lactose is not present. When lactose is not present, that means in absence of inducer. In absence of inducer, iosine. What is iosine? Iosine is the inhibitor gene, regulatory gene, transcribes to synthesize repressor messenger RNA. Now, lactose is not present. Beta galactosidase, permease, and transfer acetylase enzymes are not required. So, we don't want them. The bacteria doesn't want them in the cell. So, what happened? The regulatory gene, which is I gene, it will transcribe a messenger RNA And this messenger RNA will synthesize the repressor, and this repressor will go and get attached to the promoter region, operator region, and it will stop the polymerization, RNA polymerization, and it will stop the transcription process for the genes Z, Y, and A. That means the process of transcription will not take place on the structural gene because this repressor has come and get attached to the operator region. So this repressor binds with the operator region of operon and prevents the RNA polymerase to transcribe genes Z, Y, and A. So this is negative regulation because they are stopping it. If they are promoting it, if they are activating it, then it is called positive regulation. And here it is negative regulation because they are stopping it. Therefore, in the absence of the products of these genes, metabolism of lactose ceases. Metabolism of lactose will not take place in the absence of these genes. Now, how this is happening? See, this is the isin, this is the promoter. This is the promoter and this is the operator. And this is our structural gene, polycistronic. It is consisting of three genes, Z, Y, and A. Okay. Now what will happen in the absence of inducer? Who is inducer for us? Lactose. For lac operon, the inducer is lactose. Now, if the medium does not contain lactose, what will happen? This regulatory gene, that is I gene will transcribe a repressor messenger RNA. This transcription will take place here, and this repressor messenger RNA will synthesize the repressor. Now this repressor will come and get binded to the operator region. This O is operator region. Now what will happen? This repressor is binding to the operator region. Now because of this repressor, the RNA polymerase cannot start the process of transcription. So RNA polymerase will be stopped by this repressor to proceed with the transcription of this structural gene. So what will happen? The transcription will not take place and the enzymes will not be formed. This gene will not express, these three will not express themselves in the presence of this repressor. Repressor binds to the operator region and prevents RNA polymerase from transcribing the operon. This is operon. Clear? Okay. Now see the second case. Now what happens? Suppose in the medium all glucose is finished. Now there is no other carbon source in the medium and you put lactose in it. So what happens? Now the lactose is present. Now when the lactose is present, in the presence of inducer, what will happen? Inducer binds with the protein product of gene. Now the repressor which was formed by the inhibitory gene, regulatory gene I, the lactose molecule will go and bind with that repressor and it will inactivate the repressor. Now this inactivated repressor is unable to inactivate RNA polymerase enzyme. Now this repressor is not able to inactivate or it is not able to stop the RNA polymerase to proceed for the transcription. That means now RNA polymerase can start the transcription process. So Z, Y, and A genes will be synthesized and their respective messenger RNA will translated into beta galactosidase, permease, and trans-acetylase. Now, in presence of all these three enzymes, the metabolism of lactose proceeds in the normal manner. So now, when the lactose is present in the medium, beta-galactosidase is required, permease is required, trans-acetylase is also required. So this the lactose will go and inactivate the repressor. Now repressor cannot inactivate the operator. Now see this. Look at this diagram. This is the second condition when lactose is present. Now this is the lactose molecule. This yellow is the lactose molecule. Now this lactose molecule is the inducer. Now this inducer will in what was happening in absence of lactose? This iosine is transcribing repressor messenger RNA. This repressor messenger RNA is being translated into repressor. Now this repressor was binding with the operator and it was not allowing the RNA polymerase to proceed with the transcription further. Okay. Now what happens? What is the change here? Now this lactose is present. Now this lactose is present, which is acting as an inducer. Now this lactose will go and inactivate the repressor. This is the repressor. It will inactivate the repressor. Now once the repressor is inactivated, this repressor cannot go to the operator and stop the operator or bind with the operator to stop the functioning of RNA polymerase. So now the promoter region, the messenger, the RNA polymerase enzyme, which was blocked by the repressor, is now free to start the process of transcription. So now it will start the process of transcription. Now what will happen? They will form LAC messenger RNA. This is LAC messenger RNA. So from Z, the protein which is formed will be beta galactosidase. This is transcription and this is translation. So after transcription, LAC messenger RNA will be formed, and after translation from Z, beta galactosidase will be formed, from Y, permease will be formed, and from A, trans-acetylase will be formed. So these three enzymes will be formed. Now these three enzymes will help in the metabolism of the lactose, will help in the hydrolysis of the lactose into galactose and glucose. And now this glucose will be available to the bacteria. So this is helping in the hydrolysis of the lactose into galactose and glucose. This is helping in the increasing of the permeability of the bacterial cells for the beta galactosidase. What for the lactose? What happened? Lactose is outside, and now lactose is required inside the bacterial cell. So the bacterial cell's permeability will be increased for the lactose. So this permease is increasing the permeability of the bacterial cell so that the lactose can come inside. And trans-acetylase is transferring the acetyl group from the acetyl coenzyme A, and this is also helping in the process of metabolism of lactose. So all these three enzymes are required for the lactose metabolism. And now this is on. This operon is on. LAC operon is on in the presence of inducer. Now suppose after some time the whole lactose has been converted into galactose and glucose. What will happen then? Then again, in the absence, this will not be present. Then again, what will happen? The repressor will not be blocked, and again the repressor will come and join with the operator to stop the process. So this is how the operon is getting on and off because of this regulatory gene I, which is producing the repressor. See this diagram also. Now this is the regulatory gene. Now this regulatory gene is producing the repressor messenger RNA, and this repressor messenger RNA is producing the repressor. So this is the protein. This is transcription and this is translation. After translation, this protein is being produced. Now this protein will go and get attached to the operator. So now this RNA polymerase cannot function. So it will stop the RNA polymerase to start the process of transcription. Clear? Now, the second case where the inducer has come. This is the inducer. An inducer is lactose. Now, this inducer will come and inactivate the repressor. Now, once the repressor is inactivated, it cannot go and bind with the operator. So now this RNA polymerase can start its process of transcription. And this RNA polymerase will start the process of transcription. After transcription, this LAC messenger RNA will be formed. And this LAC messenger RNA has got, there are 3 cistrons in this. So all 3 will produce their own specific protein. So Z will produce beta galactosidase after translation. Y will produce permease after translation, and A will produce trans-acetylation. All these 3 enzymes are required for the metabolism of lactose. So this is how the LEC operon is functioning in E. coli bacteria,